guys, it is Dom here from Soundsphere. Just had a wonderful chat with Kid Bookie. Talks about his collaborations with Corey Taylor and a forthcoming one with Wheatus. Talks about his values, what he wants to do, how he wants to support his family through his music, how he wants to lift people up with his message. I'll let the interview do the talking. This is one of the deepest and most interesting chats I've done in a while. I'm incredibly grateful to Bookie for his time, and I wish him every success. There's some good stuff coming up, as you will find out in this one. Take it easy. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. What is going on? What have you got keeping your attention at the moment, apart from the EP that's out, which we'll talk about in a minute?
I'm really heavily invested in my new album, Cheaper Than Therapy 2.
Yeah, man.
And that's like blows everything I've ever done out of the water. Just because I'm a very I'm a very constant. Well, I don't like always just making one solidified, concentrated sound. So I feel like when I get to do these albums, it's pure. It's like methodical madness and mayhem.
Yeah,
and
man.
I put it all into one big melting pot. So like Mass Hysteria is pretty much kind of like a concentrated, heavy project where the next ones are very playful with everything.
Right.
And
Okay.
like where I thrive a lot. So I'm really heavily invested in that. So that's where my mind's at. Me and Wheatus are doing fucking Teenage Dirtbag 2022 called Bookie.
Amazing.
Dirtbag.
Amazing.
So literally got that cleared from EMI yesterday.
Lovely.
So that's fucking awesome. And I feel like I couldn't say so much on that, but you haven't even asked.
Yeah, I'm about to, man. I'm about to. So again, you've got the Mass Hysteria EP out. Obviously, it's got some cool collaborations on it. You've also got this Bookie Dirtbag collaboration. What are the most, what have been some of the greatest moments about the collaborations you've done? Obviously, you've worked with a range of artists now. How do you enjoy that collaborative process and what it brings to your sound?
I think, first and foremost, collaborating with the people that made you want to do music in the first place is always a fucking trip.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm very, very always, I guess, appreciative and not even just appreciative, but like imposter syndrome type shit, because you kind of always wanted to be in the mix-up of the mold, and then you suddenly kind of like working with the people in the mold, but you don't really feel like you're a part of that shit. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's nice, man. It's like, especially where I have really healthy relationships with everybody I work with. Like, I'm not one of those type of like, PR dudes that get like that, this guy, oh, we've been speaking about you to this person. Oh yeah, you might want to check now. Like, those dudes are family. So
yeah, nice.
Very authentic and very loved. I love it.
That's good, man. That's good. I wanted to ask you as well, because obviously you've had all these streams and all this, a lot of, you've got a dedicated fan base now. Success means different things to different people. I did want to ask you, at the stage you're at in your career, how do you define success? What does it mean to you?
What does success mean to me? I think success is a measure of what you set out to do.
Yeah.
So if if your measure of success was to have 1 million streams overall for the rest of your life,
right?
You're successful in whatever you set out. But for me, I guess success is probably like being able to support the people I love without worrying about myself. Like I've never cared about money. I'm consistently broke.
Right. Yeah.
Like I get large bouts of it, and then I spend it on good moments and good times with my friends and my family and my loved ones. So I'm never like money driven. Like that's why there's no merch on the site, because I can't afford it. So, but like success, man, it's just like the ultimate crescendo, getting to the place where the lows up to the biggest high, and just being able to be okay, making sure my family. I don't want to die with anything. I don't need anything. I don't care. I don't even like things. I'm literally just I literally lose everything. That's how much I do not care.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to make sure people around me are happy. I see how hard everyone works, and you realize when you're in a position to kind of make people, even live out their dreams, kind of makes everything better. I don't care. I'm numb. I literally don't even orgasm. I'm numb.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I mean, it goes on to my next question a little bit. Like, obviously, I think by the sounds of it, I was going to ask you about legacy and what that means to you, but I guess that's about the the support you leave behind for people? Is that what I'm kind of hearing? Like what you leave for people after you've gone, kind of thing? How do you feel about legacy? Do you think about that and what
Yeah,
your music means to people, etc.?
yeah. I'm very big on legacy, man. And a legacy isn't just about being a famous person and everyone remembers you for your Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, like legacy for me is like pure. When you're an artist, you cultivate a world. You build a world, and then people one by one step into it. And I think having that kind of world for people, whether it be, like, cool, these are the semantics I put out. This is the ethos I carry myself with. These are the ethics I speak about, etc. If you enter my world, we all get to ride this little universe for about 40 years, depending on when I pack it up, kill myself, or die.
right,
So,
right.
and I think that's legacy, putting that ethos into little parts of corners of the world. You go around, you say your rhetorics, you say whatever sentiments that are appealing to you, and if anyone gravitates to it, they stick around. They put those kind of ethoses out to their place, and all of a sudden you're changing little corners of the world by being who you are. And I'm very big on being who I am, because that yields the best results of life. You get
Yeah,
to break down fear, you get to break down people, you get to break down everything. And it's just by simply being the authentic version of you. Even if you
yeah.
are scared, you walk right into that fear and you find out why you're scared, because it says a lot about you when you realize the uncomfortableness of who you are, man.
Dude, that's some. I dig that, dude. I do, and I want, because you mentioned the ethics there and stuff. Has there been an instance in your career so far? You got a lot of attention, obviously, with the Corey collab, the other collabs you've done. Has there been an instance where you maybe thought I might have to compromise on my ethics and something like that, and then give me an example of when if there has been one where you were like, this doesn't fit with me, you know what I mean? Maybe you were offered an opportunity or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it sounds like you're really solid on them ethics. And I
Pretty
guess
much
there's a lot
everything I have to do in the music industry
yeah.
every
Right,
day.
right. Okay.
So, I'm an avid supporter of you. Don't change what you need to be changed, but don't change what isn't broken.
Right,
And
yeah.
I think if everybody, well, I don't know about everybody, but I am in a scene where I speak to so many people that kind of measure their worth by what festival they're on, by
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
by what streams are doing, the playlist they got into that week. I don't give a single shit. Like, that doesn't measure my worth. Like, my worth is based on the people. I always say the people are the people that are going to put you everywhere you need to be. Hence why when bands get posted on all these sites, there's this literally pure slaughter on this shit, because you haven't won the hearts of the people. And
Yeah.
they're the ones that are buying into this shit. You can't force people to give a fuck about you. First and foremost, people don't even care about themselves. So why the fuck are they going to care about you? And I'm
Yeah.
very big on making that cool. If I'm in this game, it's not about appeasing the industry. It's not about appeasing the tastemaker. So my new record is hot record of the, a title that they're just going to give me because they have the power to do it. The people are going to give you that power, and that's where the authenticity lies. And that's why it may be harder for me. It's been bigger, longer for me, but I have pure fucking real motherfuckers standing behind me, because I put out that. I don't
Yeah.
care about winning a disruptor award from Kerrang, knowing that the person winning it hasn't disrupted anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Interesting.
dissing anybody. It's just
No.
I'm in the industry. I see I'm sitting in the crowd. I see what's going on. So I can only speak about it. But I also don't want people to be scared to not say what they see, because if sometimes, like, you got to rock the boat sometimes, and people need to fall over to stand back up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very big on being an antagonist for the right reasons.
Yeah, I get that, man. And that was where that question came from, because I guess there's a lot of temptation, a lot of things that are around you that you're like, yeah, that don't fit with me. But it sounds like you've been able to stay true to your ethics and values, man, and that's wicked. I think, because one of the things I do as part of my day job is work with young people who are struggling with their mental health. They're struggling with, they look at maybe you and they go, "Oh, right, I'm never going to be like Bookie. I'm never going to have those opportunities. I'm never going to, have all them streams or have a successful, record or whatever." And I wanted to know, because you seem like a really confident person. Like, have you always had that confidence, or is it something that you've had to develop over time?
I think the thing is, I wouldn't say, like, it's weird, because if this is confidence, holy shit, I've never known it. I'm just
Right.
I'm very assured in, like, I've fought to love like who I am for so long. It's like I can't hinder the parts of mine that sometimes are too loud for others, in the sense of, like, of course, there's decorum and shit, but I mean, like, some people are very uncomfortable when somebody's just content in
Yeah.
the facets of their being, and I think it's because it makes people think. It makes people think, well, I'm not that, and I'm not I'm not blah blah blah. So people like to do things, man. My confidence is because I have to do it, because it's like
Yeah.
if someone hasn't got that, I need them to know you can be. Like, I don't know anybody. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know Corey, Billy's, Tech Nine's, fucking Jason, Fever, to anybody. So you can do anything. And I'm from South London. I've been stabbed in the same places I walk around. Like, you can do anything. Do not and it comes down to here. Hence why I say there's an ethos and an ethic and a mantra you have to consistently recite to yourself. And you kind of got to take the bullshit for years until people start to realize the bullshit was not shit. It was just confusion because you don't understand.
Yeah.
And I'm very big on that. It takes a long time, but I'm still not where I want to be. But I'm in a position where I'm like, oh my God, I've had to bully myself into spaces that nobody's really wanted me in.
Yeah.
And by bullying, I don't mean a prick. I just mean that you just really have to stand a bit of a firm. And that's what I really want people to take from my shit. It's not about being a rock star. It's not about having every PR under the sun's just write a good line for you.
Yeah.
It's about really winning the hearts of the people, loving the music you do, making sure you even know why you're doing the music you do, not just being part of a massive clique. Because all these people in their cliques, they just love photos and Instagram, and they don't even like each other 2 years later. I have none of that around me. I have all my best friends, my close friends, whether it be Corey's and this one, that's my big fucking brother. Like, I don't have no one around me that I do not fucking like, or that they don't like me, and it's all for Instagram, perceptional value, and all of that. I'm very happy to not be liked, because I don't need you. I didn't come into this game to be liked by anybody, but I came in to change things, build a rapport with the people that need it, and influence people to just, you know what, fuck, this guy doesn't give a fuck, but he gives a fuck about the right shit. And it's not that I don't care, it's about I care about the important matters, and half the shit that people want me to care about does not fucking matter.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. So you mentioned the mantra there, like, and I'm really interested in that, like something that you repeat to yourself every day, but even in the difficult days. I'm sure you have them as well. I know you do. But like, what is the mantra? What is your mission statement? And I don't know if that's a bit of a mission statement might be the wrong word, but what is that mantra? Like that you
I've got like
recite?
many. One of them is, it doesn't matter until it does.
Right. Okay.
One of them is, don't worry about what you can't control, and only control what you can worry about.
Yeah.
And one that I consistently, nothing matters then until it does. So you can't just be going around, and these sometimes are good things for anxiety, because I'm a huge overthinker. Listen, I speak. If you don't fucking stop me, I will just go. So, it's good to remind yourself of these things, and like, it's hard to exist, man. Like, there's no blueprint to exist.
Yeah.
I just had a parent who fucked hard and orgasmed me into a pussy. So now I've got to work it out. My dad's not like my dad. Like, I was a kid, I thought there was the beacon of what it is. Then you get older and you go, bruv, that's not what it is. Like, I just a zygote embryo that just born. I've got to find this shit out. All right, whilst I'm here, let me play the game. Let me revel in this little matrix and put new codes in, so everyone doesn't just go by the same sequence.
Yeah, I like it. I do. When I sometimes when I'm speaking to people, I've got like this rule where, like, I'm like, be good at what you do and don't be a dickhead. That's like my two rules of like, doing well in life is be good at what you do and have the quality of your work, but also don't be a dick. I don't know, like, it feels like there's a little bit of crossover there. Like you I know you were saying like it's good to rock the boat sometimes, but you don't come across like a dickhead. You seem like you're good at like connecting.
You rock the boat to the dickheads. That's what you do.
Right. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was like, bro, because like not everyone is a dickhead. But I'm just going by, like, I guess, experience of like ignorance, fucking like defensiveness, just based on like the music you even cultivate. And I think, like I said, rocking the boat of sometimes people's perceptions and ideas of what it is always sometimes healthy. And I don't mean it in an antagonistic way of negative. I mean, sometimes you have to be the antagonist and the protagonist. And sometimes you got to take the bullet. Sometimes you got to be the martyr. But you do that so other people are brave. And
Yeah.
you do it so because I've been scared. I've been scared to not say things. I've been scared to speak my mind. I've been scared to not say things that are directly damaging me because I don't want to break a relationship with somebody.
Right. Right.
Very
Yeah.
damaged. I lack self-esteem in that. I'm so who am I scared of? What's
Yeah.
what scared that person's gonna block my music? Then you should not be in power. So let me rock the fucking boat. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Like
You know,
the right people get behind you, and
oh
you
yeah.
know, and the rest of them, the rest of them can get fucked. Yeah. No, I get that, man.
They can
I
rock
get that.
over the boat and swim in the Atlantic.
Yeah. I mean I mean, I've got a few more for you, man. I enjoyed talking to you about this stuff. Obviously, I do want to talk about some of your visuals and stuff because I really like what you do visually. But I do want to put one in about, you're working with some of your idols here. You're collaborating with some of your idols. Now, what is that? What? Because it seems like there's very real conversations. No one's setting that up for you. No one's saying, Bookie, come here and say this to Corey Taylor. No one's saying. It seems like a very real interaction to me as an outsider. Is it as straightforward and as real as it sounds, or is it, no, it doesn't sound like anybody's setting this up for you or anybody's making these collaborations happen for you. You're building the network. That's right?
100%. And I that's why I say anyone can do anything. And like I said, I didn't know anybody. I had sounds and fingers to type.
Right.
And I think I always say there's a magic in translating who you are into a bunch of words that are literally just black text on the screen.
Yeah.
And I think once it's not easy to I'm a full-on person. I don't mean it to be, but I literally just I'm naked when I walk in the room. Legit, like I'll start clothing myself if I start feeling I need to get dressed. Not physically naked, but and I think most of the people, like everyone in my phone book, that is not everyone, of course, but everyone that I vouch for and speak highly of are very close people to me. And it's important to establish good connections. It's important to know that and recognizing like I'm not naive to who these people are. I'm not naive to some of the things I'll be doing and what I'm doing, but because I am doing them and the places I come from, I have to have the two like linear values. Okay, this is where I want to go, but this is where I want to go, but this is like don't like these are the teachers that you come in doing this with. So like you're always going to have a frozen stamp of them in time, but you also want to be standing next to them, but never discredit who put you there and why you were here, because if it wasn't for these lot, you wouldn't be here. So it's almost like I'm only trying to be part of the genetic makeup of the fucking infrastructure. So I don't know, so someone else can have the same things. I don't know how anyone else is doing it, but I know that I've done it in a way that's very untraditional, like very untraditional. And I get it every fucking place I go to, like, bro, how have you done this? And I'm just like, you know what? I actually don't really know anymore.
Yeah, man.
It's like because how can I tell you? It's not a thing that I planned.
No.
It wasn't a premeditated. I check this list off and this happens there. All I have are goals and checkpoints. And if you have goals and checkpoints, you visualize them, and then you do things to work towards those goals and checkpoints.
Yeah.
And then they can play out for you, and then you like I said, back to what we said, the key is attaining key, being key to who you are. You're embracing your prowess and making sure that you're coming from a good place, so people reciprocate that, and then you get the best out of them.
Yeah, no, I like that, man, because I think it's just a very real and raw way of doing it. Whereas, like, some people think, oh, I've got to have a budget for PR. I've got to send my tunes to these people to get there. And it seems like you've kind of done all this yourself.
You need a feature fee. How much is the feature?
Yeah. And I think that's nice, because what you're doing is you're talking to people that don't have the money to do those things, and don't have the resources or connections initially. Whereas you're saying the value of walking into a room, being yourself, and having good tunes, but like that's the value of it, which I think is really cool, man. And I think that's I dig that. So yeah, all right, well, I've got a couple of questions more to ask you, Bookie. I think I want to ask you about your visuals, because I think they're really strong, and I wanted to ask you to what level and how much value you put on. Got to be careful how I ask this, because I'm not trying to say that you think too much about your appearance, but I think your visuals are awesome. To what level do you think about the visual side of what you do, and how important is it?
Well, you're 100% right. I'm a slave to appearance.
Right. Okay.
But only for visual perception, not
right.
outside of the visual world. Because I think when you capture a song, adding the world to that song in the visual is important. So how do I need to be perceived? You know, whether it be me dressing in my leathers or whether it be me not even standing in the video, but creating a narrative for the video, I think it's important. Like, you know, one of my favorite videos I've done, and funny enough, the video that's actually out is not the full video. I didn't get it finished. The guy that was doing it went into full depression and just like didn't fucking finish the video, like nearly deleted it. So I've just got some random half-finished video, but no one really knows that. And it's in the dark. And it was like, it's a song called In the Dark. And that song's about, you know, the first line is she does her makeup in the dark. She doesn't need no one to see her when she needs a breather. And I thought, okay, from that line, what can I go from there? I was like, okay, must masquerade, you know, bear the true face. This is who we are. Put the makeup on, we can play anyone we want. And so I made this song, and the woman, the protagonist in the video is somebody that, you know, by day she's this person, at night she's this killer. Cliche concept, but the way I did it was that she's consistently broadcasting her killings to people that are choosing the way they want her to kill. So she will go on dates with these people, bring them back to their house, and in the text chats at the end, there's loads of people viewing her and saying, okay, I'll lead him to the bedroom to do this. And I thought, you know, and just like, okay, well, I've got a song here. I can stand in it and go, yeah, or I can get, you know, create a visual well to it. And it's important to me. Like, I don't ever have a fucking more than £1,000 to shoot them videos, or sometimes more times £0, 0. So it's like, how can I, you know, how can I get the best out of my resources? How can I get the best out of people around me? I'm very key. I don't like sometimes going to all like, oh, you should use this one because he worked with Bring Me, or you should use this one because he's got a good track record of doing this, that, and the other. I want to find people that are going to have the track record of doing this, that, and the other, helping. If I can do that and put them, I'm not even the biggest, but I know that when I do that, sometimes because I have a certain network of people that see it, I see that they start working with other people, and I'm like, okay, job done, you know?
Man. I like that, dude. I like that. So you're lifting people up. That to me sounds like what we're getting is your mission statement, and your vibe as an artist is to lift other people up as well as yourself.
Consistent, because I feel as low as they all do. So if I can, you know, stand on the podium with a bunch of people feeling like me and we all relate to that moment, we're strong.
Yeah, man. I dig that. I think it's nice. A couple more questions, man, to finish off. Then a little bit of plug-in. So, like, obviously, you've got a dedicated fan base here in the UK and around the world now, thanks to your international collabs. What is the message that you've got then to those people that have got behind you and those people that will continue? They've been there since the beginning, since the album came out, 2021, you know, and before that. And they're going to be with you in the future. What is your message to those people that have stuck by you and get so much from your music?
I guess the biggest message is, you know, to all, like, I speak to, like I say, fear is a massive catalyst to hindrance. And a lot of the people I speak to, I always try to let them know I'm as scared as you are. But together, you know, fear is eradicated, because what do we have to be scared of when all we have to do is fight forward? And I know it's all these like power sentiments, but they literally are that. You stand people together, we're stronger than anything. And I always try to let that be the muse that kind of speaks through me anywhere I step, anywhere I go, musically, on the stage, wherever, on an interview. And it's basically just, you know, don't hide behind the masquerade. If you want to masquerade, no problem. It's nothing to do with me. But there's so much strength in wearing the mask of who you are, because you don't have to hide behind anything. And that's literally your armor. Your biggest superpower is your vulnerability. It shows you're human. It shows that you have stuff to hide, but you don't need to hide it. So like, it's domino effects, man. Just be part of the domino effect of trajectory. Lift up the people. Don't, you know, the masquerade is only good if you want to put on a show, but not everything is a show. So show them you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I did that, man. I did that. And sort of to finish off then, like, obviously you mentioned the Wheatus collab and obviously you're working on a new record as well. Is there anything you feel like we've missed that you'd like to plug? Anything that you know you want to shout out and things before we finish up?
Mass Hysteria, out now. The new fucking EP that I'm not even saying, out now. Fucking introduct 7 songs, concentrated, heavy metal, one facet of my being. Just literally one, just putting them into a little blend. If you enjoy that side of me, reap it, take it in, have it, bestow yourself to the sonic whatevers, have fun. But we're going on, we're moving on. Nothing stays in stasis. We've got to deliver you the best sounds possible. We've got to make sure we cry together, laugh together, fuck together, and die. So let's fucking go. Wheatus, Teenage Dirtbag, a generational shit. I'm not just giving a nod to nostalgia. I'm giving my identity to something that means so much to me. So let's have fun with that. A moment in music. Hopefully in 20 years, someone can take my fucking version, because that's all music is. It's rehashing great fucking moments. And life is about moments. Just one moment to the next. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. Love it. Love it. Dude, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it, dude.
Always, you're a beautiful human. I can't wait to do this again.